Good evening.
Hi, everybody.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oh, boy.
Seahorses forever.
You know, there are just some things, some sayings, cliches that I feel like we need to officially retire, because if I hear one more heavy-set, middle-aged white woman answer my question with, "I don't know, I've slept since then," I can't be held responsible for my actions. Just say you don't know. Just say you fucking forgot. Why do you have to say something like that? Just say, "I don't know, I've slept since then." No, that's enough. We gotta, of all the things to be let bother me in the world, that is the number one. Clearly the most important thing. The Weekly Egg starts now. It is the Weekly Act for Friday, January. Oh my God, June 15th, 2018. Payday. Even though I'm not technically working, I still get paid. That's the way teaching works. You can, none of the teachers I work with get paid all their money. No, it's not doing it. I need the WD-40, the mic arm. No, nobody gets paid. You get more if you get paid for the 9 months, and then you just don't take a paycheck in the summer. But it's a lot better if you divided your salary out in 12 months, because I'm not that good at saving, and there's no way I would save. There's no way I would stock up on acorns before the winter came, so to speak, even though it's summer that I really need this stuff. But what is payday? Other people got paid today too. So no, this is Mac by myself, riding solo and riding dirty at the same time. And it may be a little echoey because we are not in the iRadio Waco studios anymore, because Dustin, he was looking for a place anyway, but got us thrown out because he had a fight with the landlord or whatever. And I'm still trying to make sure the mic levels are right here. I think I'm over-modulating. But the echo is because I am back in my apartment. I had to set the studio. I had to take the stuff out of that studio. And now it's a home studio again. But I've moved since the last time. For forever, my studio's been where I live. And not since... I'm doing this late at night, sorry. Since January, I guess. Yeah, January. It's been at the iRadio Waco, which was it was an office space. And I need to so now it's here, and I've moved since the last time I had my studio in my apartment, and now this new apartment is all wood floors. So at least at the other one, the living room and the kitchen and everything was wood, but the bedrooms, every other room was carpet, but this place, the whole thing. And it is just temporary, I hope. I don't know. Dustin said he would try to find another place temporarily while he looked for a permanent place, but I don't think I want to move twice. I may just leave everything here. I sure did miss. It was nice having its own space, in an actual standalone office park that seemed a lot more professional. I don't know. Sometimes when I ask people to come do the show and it's at my house, they have to come to my house to do it, they get a little weirded out. I guess I have a weird face. I have a creepy, pervy face or something. But it was nice because they were a little, I don't know. I mean, bad things could still happen at some office park at night. I don't know. I know that I'm harmless, but I guess not everyone knows that. And plus, I usually, well, never mind. I was going to go too far with that. But, so sorry for the echo if you're hearing that. I'm sure you are because I can hear it. It's bugging the shit out of me. But the reason no co-host is because I've only got this set up for one person right now until I get everything else set up. And then I'll have a co-host back. I've just been kind of lazy, even though I'm out for the summer. I've been pretty lazy. I am in summer school. I'm teaching summer school, and I still work. I still tutor. It almost seems like I'm not off. But even if it was still the regular, if still school was in for the regular part of the year, I probably still wouldn't get to it. I'm just lazy. That's all it is. I try to blame it on other stuff, but oh my god, but I'm just lazy. So let's see. What did we last night actually? I bring this up just because these guys that we went to go see have been on the show before, Bill and Phil. A few years ago, when I was talking to them last night, they played at a outside venue here. I hadn't seen them in a while, not since they did the show, but like maybe a year or two ago. And they were asking if I was still doing the show and everything, and I was like, yeah, but even less regularly than before. And they were like, well, were we on that show about 2 years ago? I'm like, no, it was like 2013. It's been like 5 years. And because I don't, you guys remember, they're kind of like a Piano Man kind of thing, where like piano, except it's a guitar and a drum instead of a piano and a drum, but it's kind of the same thing where they play whatever. They'll play requests. Not quite as versatile as Piano Man, because Piano Man can usually play anything you want. Their specialty is like 70s and 80s, so. But we went with a couple of people from work, and they learned some new stuff. They learned some Lifehouse that they didn't know before. They were cracking into the late 90s, early 2000s in their repertoire. So that was kind of cool. And it was hot as balls out there because it's an outdoor... they have an indoor place where you can eat food and the bar is inside, but then there's an outside stage where they were, and Jesus, it's just... It was a cold winter, and it stayed cool through the spring, but once, like the middle of May, it's never gradual. Middle of May, 100 degrees. And it's been that, and even it's 8 o'clock when they went on, it was still 90-something degrees. And there's actually some people from Oregon who are melting. If you can guess, if you remember, we do this show in Waco, and if you can guess what is all the rage, why people come down here, that's the reason they were here. Magnolia, Fixer Upper, all that bullshit. However, they did have a saving grace. They did redeem themselves because they were taking an entire tour, or they were visiting all of Texas. So they came to Waco and then they saw that, but they're also going to San Antonio and Austin, and they had already been to Dallas and Fort Worth and all that. So they are doing a tour of Texas, not just, they didn't fly here just to come to Waco just to see this fixer-upper nonsense, which a lot of people do. I don't get it. And I hate that you can't have an opinion on it. You have to just, we talked about this on a couple shows ago. You have to love them because, they've done so much for our local economy. And if you criticize, then people immediately will say, fans of theirs will immediately say, well, what have you done for the economy? But I'm like, just because I haven't done anything for the economy doesn't mean I can't have an opinion on it or criticize them. I criticize lots of stuff I have no business criticizing. That's what's great about this country. One of the few things that's left. Speaking about what's great about the country, The biggest story, I think, is not Trump and North Korea. It's nothing about Trump. The biggest thing that's going on that has me worried the most, are you ready? Is IHOp changing their name to IHOb. I know this is June 15th. I know that it was a week ago or Monday that they, or even longer. Monday is when they said what the B stood for. It's been a couple of weeks since they said they're going to change it, and I really hope. I mean, this really, I hyped it up. You guys know what sarcasm is. This really hasn't. This doesn't matter. But I mean, IHOb, and it's burgers. If you've been under a rock, it's IHOb, International House of Burgers, because they're introducing a new line of Angus beef burgers. But they've always had burgers. I guess they've just been shitty burgers. They haven't been Angus beef, which I don't even know if is a thing. People just throw that word out. Any place that has burgers, which is every place. Good job, IHOb, for having burgers or new and improved burgers. Like you couldn't get one anywhere else. And then Wendy's again. Even if you don't like Wendy's, it's worth following their Twitter just for the shade they throw. And this is all over the place. I'm sure most of you that knew about that know about this. But they were, somebody said Wendy's, they're creeping in on your turf, and Wendy's, whoever runs, the Wendy's social media department they're great. I don't know if it's one person or a team, but they've been throwing shade for years now. They're just a great Twitter account, and they said, I'm not so sure I want to order. This is not exactly what it said, but paraphrasing, I'm not sure I want to order a burger from a place that decided pancakes were too hard. Which kind of isn't fair, because it's not like they're still going to serve pancakes. They just took it out of their name. And it's such a weird IHOb. But I guess IHOP probably sounded weird when you first started saying it, after they, after it was the whole name, it was International House of Pancakes forever. That was what you said. And then whenever they changed it to initials to make it IHOP. But that makes sense, I guess, because it's like, that could be a sentence, IHOb. It actually reminds me, I couldn't, every time I heard it, there's really no connection. I guess it's just the B sound. But it made me think of this song. You guys, let's see, I want to make sure I have it. You guys remember this song?
Slop on my knob, like corn on the cob. Check
it with me. And do your job. All right. I just wanted that first part. But I don't know. For some reason, IHOb on my knob, like corn on the cob. Check it with me. Somehow I sound whiter trying to do a 3-6 Mafia impression. Anyway, it's just I'm really hoping that it's just temporary, right? Doesn't it seem like it would just be for the promotion while the burgers are new, and then change it back after? I mean, are they really going to make all the franchisees buy new signs? They just changed their sign. They just had a lot of flack for they redid their logo, or they tweaked their logo and put the little smiley face, because they thought the banner, it used to say IHOP, and then underneath it was a banner facing downwards that said International House of Pancakes, and I guess they thought it looked too much like a frowny face. So they tweaked it, and then they just made, under the O and the P, they just made a line, but it's upright, so it looks like it's smiling, and they said it looks like a Joker face or whatever. So they just had, crap about their name, their logo, and now they're changing the name. So I don't know if they would make all the franchisees buy brand new signs again, just for one letter. Because I think if they do, it'll be one of those, I'm sure there are some diehard IHOP fans. I rarely go to IHOP. It's usually when it's 2 a.m. and I'm shit-faced. But still, there will soon be, if they leave at IHOb, I've read people making jokes that there'll be people, if you meet a girl, if you're a guy, or a girl too, I guess, equal rights, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. I love everyone. I have a coexist sticker on my car. That just obviously means that I'm a good person. Today I cut two people off at once, and I was thinking, no, and they were behind me, and then I was like, oh, they're gonna see my coexist sticker, and I just cut them the fuck off. All right, oh, this guy's a douche. He coexists, but he doesn't care about the right of way. But nobody's going to call it IHOb if it sticks. I mean, I guess, eventually, what the thing I was going to say is if you meet a girl and she only knows about IHOb, she's too young for you. But if it stays that way, there'll be a whole generation that don't know that it used to be IHOb. And when you say IHOb as an old idiot, a foolish old man, the young kids would be like, what are you talking about? Even though it's practically the same name, it's just one letter difference. But you know how kids are, they're stupid. I mean, they're the bright future of America. I have to say that if I'm a teacher, right? Oh, what else is going on? I should have talked about the studio. We went to see Bill and Phil last night. I'm off. IHOb on my knob. Corn on the cob. I should just play that song and let it go. And then get sued for copyright infringement. I don't know how I still don't understand copyright infringement because I'm not making any money off of it. You know what I mean? I'm sure I'm just ignorant towards this because it reminded me of, like in the old days, which was not that long ago, when you would burn CDs and you'd make a copy. I understand. Well, I guess it's more them losing money than you making money, right? So if you burned a copy of a CD and gave it to somebody, that just means that person wouldn't have to purchase it, so they would lose out on the money. I used to think, I'm like, well, I'm not making any money off of it, but I guess it goes both ways. I mean, we used to tape shows on TV. How is that any different? Because the work you had to do to tape them, we didn't record. Some people were lazy. Sometimes people record movies and you're like, oh, you can borrow this, and they wouldn't. They would record the commercials too. We weren't like that. We would wait. You could always tell when they were, when they were going to go to a commercial. If you'd seen it enough times on a certain network, you knew where the commercial breaks were. Or later on, when they started putting their logo in the bottom corner, it used to go off. The logo would go off like a couple seconds before it would go to commercial. So it'd always like go up there. Oh, it would make my brother do it, and we would have him have his finger on the stop button, and get ready to stop, and then be ready. After the third commercial, we had him ready. Because sometimes they had, longer commercials than other times. We had him ready to push the record button so it came back on. So if you borrowed a movie that we taped, you didn't get commercials. We were good like that. We were considerate. But we would borrow some and people were lazy as fuck and they would just, record the commercials. Which took up more tape. Unless you recorded an EP? SP, LP, yeah. If you recorded on EP, you could get like way more. If you recorded on SP, it recorded faster, so it didn't, even on a 2-hour tape, you could get more on there if you did EP. If you are a young person, I don't think you have any idea what I'm talking about. Or even if you're an old person and just don't remember any of this shit, then do you remember on the old tapes, the little tab, if you broke the tab off, that you couldn't record over it? Sometimes people leave them on, they get accidentally recorded over. But the trick was, if you did break that tab off on the side of the cassette, you could put a piece of tape over it and fool the VCR, and you could record again if you taped over where that tab was. The good old days. We never had a VCR work for more than, I don't know, a year. I don't know if everybody else ever had this problem, but a lot of times, like, the older they got, and especially if you bought a cheap one, and we did because we didn't have any money, but if you bought, after about a year, it seemed like, with our VCRs, it would start jumping. Like, this is, On the old TVs, you had the V hold, the vertical hold, and the horizontal hold, and if that was off, the picture would just kind of either, just kind of go up and down over and over, or to side if it was the vertical. But something would happen with VCRs, at least the ones we got, where it was like the horizontal hold was off, and it would just like jump. The picture would just like jump up and down, and you couldn't use remember the tracking button that didn't work. You could clean it. You used to have those clean the heads, and you would put like a cleaning tape in there, a cleaning cassette in there. Nothing ever worked. We just have to get another one, and inevitably it would. Eventually the new one would do the same thing. Now we got Blu-ray and DVD. Well, not even that. People just stream it. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I still like to have discs because you never know when the world comes to an end and all the satellites are knocked out. I'll still have The Office on DVD and Friends on DVD that I can watch. People are like, that's on Netflix, that's on Hulu. Why do you don't need to buy it? I'm like, yeah, but it might not always be. And with a rate, Netflix is useless for anything other than their own content. With the rate they're going, kicking everything off that's not theirs, it's not going to be anywhere. But Hulu seems to pick up whatever they kick off. It was weird. I used to watch Scrubs on Netflix all the time. I used to start it over all the time, and then it went away and immediately was picked up on Hulu, which is good. I'm not complaining. It's weird. So I had to get Hulu. And because more and more things are going to Hulu, and Hulu has commercials, like god-awful commercials, like right before I bought the premium Hulu, the whatever, $12 a month. Because Hulu isn't free it's not like the free one has commercials and you pay for a pay for one and then they go away. You pay for Hulu no matter what, and it has commercials, and then you can move up. You guys all know this. I don't know why I'm explaining it. But right before I switched over to the premium, no commercials. There was like 6 commercials. 6 20 to 30 second commercials between during the break, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. That's too much. I'll pay the $10 or $12, whatever it is. So man, I'm tired. It's not even that late. What time is it? 10:48. Oh well, I still haven't. I'm still in school sleep schedule. I still wake up early. I can't sleep in for shit. Excuse me. I had a steak and cheese sandwich from Subway. It's the best. And a soda, so now I've got gas. Sorry. Let's see. I don't want to talk about anything political on this one, okay? And maybe that, I'm sure you guys, if you follow politics, you're sick of it anyway. Maybe you're sick of me talking about it. The show didn't used to be political, but as I've said before, as I've gotten older, I guess I just I'm more into it. And, older people. I'm an old man. I'm an old man now, so I follow politics and get mad at the TV. I yell at the TV. I don't think this is going to be a very long show either, because we're at 25 minutes and I don't have anything else except this last thing that I wanted to do because it's so weird. And I saw it a while ago and I forgot about it. And then, just, when you remember, like something will trigger you to remember something, usually unrelated to the thing that it makes you remember. And I didn't want to talk about school because I know we've been, like, the last 3 episodes, especially when you have 2 people that work at a school doing this show now, that it's inevitably going to be probably heavy on the school talk. Actually, one little thing about teaching, I read that a lot of those teachers in Oklahoma that had walked out for better pay and supplies, There's a few of them that are just done with teaching. They're like, I can't do it anymore. I'm burnt out. And I understand. I mean, like I've said this, we're lucky around here. We get paid very well. That's one of the big things that draws people to this district, is because it pays the most out of the surrounding ones. But yeah, and plus, we can't strike. There's certain laws in Texas. We can't. We lose everything. But again, that sucks. But thankfully, we do pretty well. And that, I'm not saying that's all around Texas, but we happen to live in a bigger metropolitan area. Bigger. It's not big, but it's bigger, where we get paid pretty fairly. Bobby fairly, actually. Do I just want to go into this? Yeah, I don't have. I'm sure there's other things. I'm still not good about writing things down when I think about them. I don't always have a pen and paper handy. Or I could get with the 21st century and just use the note app on my iPhone. Nah, I'll just stay an old man. Speaking of that, iPhones, does anybody have problems like with their, I mean, maybe, I don't know if it's just iPhone, any smartphone. Do you ever find that like your home Wi-Fi goes way slower on your phone than it does every other device, like computer or when you're streaming? And I don't know, maybe it may just be my phone, or it may just be iPhones, or maybe everyone's cell phone. I don't know. I've rebooted everything. But for some reason, it will just spin and load. I mean, my network goes faster than when it's connected to Wi-Fi, and I have T-Mobile, and they're slow as shit. But my Hulu and Netflix and on these computers that I'm recording on now, I mean, it's fast, but for some reason it will not. I mean, sometimes it just times out. It'll just time out, and I'll have to just close out the app or the web page and then just turn off Wi-Fi and use, LTE. I don't know. Maybe it's if you're listening to this and you know how to fix it, if you could comment or send an email or something, but I can't figure it out. I've done all the stuff that, I've Googled it, and, they have all these, it's almost like a superstitious way to do it. You have to turn this off first, then you click this next, then you reset your router, then you go in and do a hard restart, then you do a soft restart, then you then you reset your net, like all in this very specific order, and that's supposed to fix it, but it hasn't. So if anybody knows, or you just gonna say fuck iPhone, get a Galaxy, or it may just be, I mean, I've dropped this phone a lot. I haven't cracked it, thankfully, but this is the phone I had when I fell. I don't know if I ever told that story. I was jogging in December, and I just fell. Like, I just tripped on the sidewalk, on the lip. Like each square of the sidewalk, there's like a little wood spacer. And I was tired, I guess. I didn't pick my foot up high enough, like a piece of shit. And I tripped and landed straight arm. Like when I fell, I landed on a straight arm. And I thought I fucking broke my forearm. Like it hurt so bad. Like I thought I was going to pass out because it hurt so bad. And I hit it straight on. And I couldn't move it. I mean, you can't move your forearm, but I couldn't move my wrist or my hand at all. So I was like, fuck, it's broken. I'm out here by myself. And I ripped the shit out of my knee, like all the skin. Like, because my knee hit first, and then I fell with a straight arm down. So I called my mom, and I was like, hey, I don't think I can drive. It hurts so bad I'm going to pass out. Can somebody come? I was near their house anyway. Can somebody please come drive me to, we went to an urgent care, and I just sprained the shit out of it. But I mean, my phone, when I fell, it flew and just hit, like, it took a hit. I had a case on it and everything, but I'm sure even if you have a case, it's hitting the ground and, jarring it. And that wasn't the first time I've dropped it either, so whatever. All right. This is going to be a shorter show because I only have this video left for you guys to hear. And this is, it's such a weird video. It's one of those, I guess. Oh, now we have to deal with Bingo at the studio. We didn't have to deal with Bingo because he wasn't there. But now I did. Hey, shut up! I took his collar off, so when he shook, he wouldn't jingle, but he barked. So sorry. I don't know if the right word is meta comedy, where it's very, it's just kind of, it's not overtly funny. It's just like stream of conscious funny. I don't even know if that's the right word. Like, if you ever watch that Tim and Eric awesome show, Great Job or whatever, and it had Brule's Rules. It was John C. Reilly, and it was just this weird. He had these just weird. He was a doctor, and he just said these weird things. And every time he gave advice, he would always say, "For your health," and they would pause it. They would freeze frame the video instead of him, like, in a very smart looking pose, like, "Yes, this is good advice." It would always be him half blinking and his mouth open or something. It was just. But so it's like that kind of funny. I don't know if meta is the right word. It's like alt funny or something. That whole show was that way. But this is called Nature Walk. Nature, neat. Because he says neat a lot. I don't know who this guy really is, but what is it? Something Pepperbottom is the character. And you can tell, I mean, this isn't like on Funny or Die or anything. This isn't like oh God, this is from 2009. I didn't realize this was that old, but it's got 12 million views. I saw it on a meme, just like a part of this. And I was like, what the hell is that? I thought it was serious when I first saw it in the meme. But then I was like, oh, this is written this way. I mean, it's supposed to be bad, but I get the funny. It's funny because it's bad. So anyway, I'm going to play this and get ready, because a few of things that he says are going to become drops on the show that I'm probably going to play henceforth. But so it's like it's whole series too, but it's called Nature Walk because he says neat a lot.
For me, nature is one of the neatest things on this planet. That's why Rodney and I started Nature Walk, because we want everyone to know how neat nature is, instead of just me and Rodney knowing it.
Instead of just Lenny Pepperbottom. Instead of just me and Rodney knowing it.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
Can you guess what things he says that I'm going to use as a drop?
Without a doubt, coming out into nature is one of the neatest things there is to do. But you also have to be careful. That's why I always try to pack a gun. It's just a little bit, pack some heat. Now this isn't much of a big boy. I don't want to kill the animal, but I do want to warn it and say, hey, I think you're pretty neat, but I respect your distance. There's bears out here, there's mountain cougars, and biting goats.
Biting goats.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
It really reminds me of something that like Chris Farley would do on SNL. The way it's just so awkward, and the guy's kind of overweight too, so that it seems like it would be perfect for Chris Farley. And that gun he had, just FYI, was a BB gun. So.
Oh wow! Score! Look at this. This is an aspen. You can tell that it's an aspen tree because of the way it is. Wow.
That's it. And that was that segment was the on the meme that said this is me during an essay question test, because it's kind of stating out. He's like, you can tell this is an aspen tree because of the way it is. All right. And so like in an essay, you can just kind of be vague and just kind of write whatever, trying to get credit for whatever it is. He like how I'm explaining why this is funny? Which probably makes it less funny. But he's just walking around, smelling things, messing with ants.
Wow. What a beaut.
All right.
You know, it'd be a great capper to a great day. It'd be seeing a wild animal. I always get real excited at the opportunity to maybe see an antelope or a fox, you know, or some sort of mountain beast. So what I do sometimes is I'll try to,
Mountain beast.
you know, shake things up a little bit, get the earth moving, and call out to them, you know. Here we go. Up, up, up. Hip. Hip, hip, hip.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, lady.
Come on, girl.
Classic animal sounds.
Nothing. Gee, dang it. I don't see any coming out right now, but I'm not giving up yet.
Gee, dang it. Yes. Indigenous animal sounds.
Not too often do you get all this neatness in one location. That's called nature.
There you go, Lenny Pepperbottom. So do you see what I mean? It's that weird kind of humor where it's not overly, it's not funny on purpose, but it's almost accidentally. I don't know what the answer or what the category would be. All right, so see why I don't do many shows by myself. I'm better when I have somebody to play off of. I'm so much better when I have someone else to make me look better, actually. That's what it is. That's why I have Norm here sometimes, so he makes me look a lot better. Clearly. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because obviously I need to go to bed. Elderly gentleman that I am, yawning on the microphone. About 60% of this show was me yawning into the microphone. So hopefully I will get more of the studio set up, and next show I will have a co-host back, either Jamie or Norm, maybe both. Need to bring Norm back. It's been a while, so we can get the old magic going, the old chemistry, Mac and Norm chemistry going again. So other than that, glad you guys listen. Whoever listens, as always. It's nice to kind of be back, to have the studio back home, even though it's a different home, but here, so I can do stuff whenever I want. Because the other one, I had my studio equipment in there, but other people use that studio. The people that rented it from him would use their studio space, so I would have to, make sure that they weren't recording when I wanted to go use it. So that was kind of a pain too. So this way, it's here and I can get to whenever I want. So, which will probably be never. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for listening, you guys. We'll catch you next time right here on the Weekly Yak. See ya.
That was awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Weekly Yak.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Check us out at weeklyyak.com. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Lighthouses rule.
And subscribe to us on iTunes.
Keep looking up, because that's where it all is.